Woman expressed, because this world needs women unafraid of their own magic. Welcome to the show, where we explore what it means to be a fully expressed woman, a woman aligned with her desires and dreams, a woman who knows her potential is well within reach. Here, magic happens. Thanks for tuning in, fam. Welcome back to another episode. Today, I have been thinking about what it took the last few years for me to cultivate a life that is lived entirely on my own terms. A lot of people on the internet are talking about what it takes to build your dream life, to live your dream life, to become the person that can access those states of being, that way of being that feels really true to you, really true to your heart, really true to your authenticity and the life you really want to be living in your short and sweet time on planet Earth. And I'm one of those people. I love talking about the ways in which we can step into our dharma, the ways in which we can step into our potential, the ways in which we can access higher states of consciousness, of awareness, of self-love, self-worth, self-devotion, self-respect, and in turn manifest ridiculous things that would make people question you, likely. But you know it's just you being even deeper into the alignment. So I thought it'd be fun for today's episode to give you if I was starting over from scratch and my goal was to build a life that I once dreamed of, that's on the vision board, that's entirely on my own terms, what would I do step by step? This is going to look incredibly different for every single human being. If you're here tuning in, you are likely a woman who deeply cares about impacting this world in a positive way, who cares about sovereignty, who cares about passion and service and connection and intimacy and somatics and knowing yourself on a really deep level and connecting to your feminine essence, to name some. So the way that I'm approaching this is really a blend of energy, of strategy, of mindset, of body, and of connection. Because ultimately, you can be really strategic, you can be an amazing businesswoman, you can be really intelligent, but if you're not connected to your joy, your dharma, your alignment, your inner child, your body, you're going to burn out, you're going to get tired, you're going to feel that missing piece. And something I felt really strongly when I achieved real monetary success in my business for the first time, running an agency. I achieved all the things I wanted to achieve in terms of building a business, being time and location free, having 5-figure months. Like I had checked all those boxes. I was working with epic holistic brands, but I wasn't actually following my highest joy, my highest excitement in my heart. And even though I had all those things, there was a gaping hole in my soul around what I was doing on this planet and what my purpose was. I felt it so strongly, and I didn't really get to fill that hole until I took a step back and realized money is not the goal. It's a really nice tool and resource for freedom, but having it doesn't mean anything if I'm not really connected to my purpose and what my heart is calling me to do with my time on earth. And so that's when I got to shift my life all over again. So yes, we have the strategic side of things, and this isn't just about building a business, but I'm of course going to talk about it because it's so interwoven to everything that I do, and it's also a huge ticket to freedom is becoming an entrepreneur, getting paid to be yourself and to self-express. But more importantly, on the other side of things is your energy, your mindset, your belief around yourself, your nervous system capacity. And so I want to take you on a little journey, step by step. Some of these might be out of order, but what I would do, all the boxes that I would be checking if I really wanted to live my dream life and start this journey from scratch. So let's get into it. Step 1, before anything else, I would make sure to take the time to know who I am. Because when I say that the vast majority of humanity is walking around on their cutie little legs on planet Earth, a whole ass human being with no idea who they are, no idea what they feel, no idea how to connect with sensation in their body, no idea what desires they truly have. And what a shame to not know yourself, because ultimately, the only way you can build a life you love is to know what you love. You can only know what you love by knowing who you are and feeling who you are and feeling sensationally in your body, somatically, what it means to experience joy, what it means to experience love, what it means to experience excitement, what it means to experience peace and regulation and safety. So step one would be meet yourself. Do a personal brand identity audit. Nothing to do with the internet, nothing to do with a brand you're putting out into the world. Like the brand that is your essence. Who are you? What do I love? What does being Emma mean? What does it mean to be you? What am I passionate about? What do I stand for? What do I believe in? What do I stand against? What brings me deep, deep passion and purpose and pleasure in this life? What things really don't sit right with me? What do I want to do with my time here? What would my dream day look like? What would my dream week look like? What would my dream month, year, 5-year, 10-year? What are my greatest goals right now? What do I want to achieve this week? What do I want to achieve this month, 6 months, 1 year? Really getting clear on what it is to be you. What sensations feel pleasant in my body? What sensations feel unpleasant in my body? How do I want to experience my own energy? How do I want to make people feel? How do I want to make myself feel? The list can go on with these questions. The point here is you need to meet yourself, understand yourself, connect with yourself before you can do anything else. Because if you're basing your dream life off of an influencer you see online or a celebrity, a movie star, someone you don't actually know the inner workings of, you're living in a fantasy that is backed by nothing real. Now, I love being delusional. I'm living in fantasies all the time. But when I see someone online or in this world who I'm inspired by, I know that I'm tuning into my own essence first. For example, when I hired business coaches to scale my business, I really checked in with how do they make me feel about myself. And when I looked at their life, I didn't even know the specifics of what I was going to be learning. But when I looked at their life, I knew deep in my bones there was a strong resonance that I wanted to live like that. I wanted to live my own rendition of that, building my at-home gym, building a food forest in my yard, owning a beautiful property, having freedom, investing in myself, not being stressed about my future or my family's future, feeling so luxurious and connected to earth and to myself and to my pleasure and my free time and my spaciousness to create. Vibe check was 100% passed, and I didn't even care what they were going to teach me. I just felt that being in their space was going to up-level my life, and it did. But if I had just made that rash choice without the connection to my inner state, to my desire, to knowing what I actually want, maybe I would have ended up hiring someone superficial, really just connected to money and the material, who didn't have those alignment and values. And that could have been a big waste of money for me had that been the case, because I didn't architect my own reality first and really bring forward clarity and understanding on who I am and what I want. So, of course, gaining and sourcing inspiration externally is beautiful. To be magnetic always says to find expanders, meaning if you want to manifest something, find people who can show you it's possible. Put yourself in spaces where you're expanding your thresholds to believe that this can be true for you. And I love that concept. I'm constantly trying to put myself around people that expand me, situations that expand me, leaning into comfort zones or out of them rather, that expand me, that support me in jumping off those cliffs and leaning into those edges. It all comes back to first and foremost understanding myself. So before anything else, meet yourself. Go into nature with a journal and talk to the tree and write down what you have to say. I don't know. Go on a vacation. Take yourself on a trip. Go backpack somewhere. Take a day off your phone. Meet yourself. Figure out what you like. There are so many opportunities for you to get to know yourself. Use the internet. There's endless resources. People will be supporting you with different tools and ways for you to meet yourself. Find a community of like-minded people nearby. Go to a yoga class. I don't know. Whatever you need to do. Get to know yourself. If it takes a month, if it takes 3 months, if it takes 6 months, there's no need to rush the process of becoming, but there is a very pressing and important need for you to meet yourself immediately. So do whatever it is you need to do to meet yourself. Step 1. Step 2, once you've met yourself presently, Audit who you've been. I'm going to use the word audit a lot. It's just like this nice little review of who you are. Clarity, bringing forward, pen to paper, giving yourself space to really be in witness of what you've been, who you've been, what you've done, the patterns, the processes, the pain, the empowerment, all of the different phases that have led you to now. So starting with your childhood, what are the aspects of your past that are keeping you caged in your present? What limiting beliefs, what stories, what conditioning, what trauma are you carrying in your body? Where is there pain from your past that is keeping you from unlocking your potential in your present? And this might take some digging and some excavating, and this might be challenging, and it might feel icky and uncomfortable, and that is the point. Take this at your own pace. If you have support, a friend, a community, a sibling, to guide you through this journey, or just hold your hand and be there for you as a sounding board, that can be really beautiful. It can also be a journey you go on your own. Again, the internet has so many shadow work prompts. You can find them if you don't know them off the top of your head. Just let yourself meet the parts of you that feel a little bit more challenging to come to terms with, because that is where you're going to find the direct links to the blocks that are keeping you from your potential. An example, if you were raised to believe that money is evil, your entire life, your family instilled this belief that money is only kept and spent by powerful, greedy, evil human beings, and you should have no aspiration to be anything like them, you might have a hard time with money because you have however many years of conditioning that has repeated a story over and over and over again that money is bad or wrong. When in reality, money is a neutral resource. It just is, like a tree, like a plant, like your computer. It's all just a neutral resource, and how you apply yourself to it, how you use it, is then what it becomes. So if you have $5 million and you are giving $3 million of that $5 million to restoring the coral reefs in the ocean or removing plastics from the ocean, I don't know about you, but I don't find any evil in that. I think, in fact, you are using your wealth for an immense amount of good. On the other hand, if you are using your money to fund atrocities and the ripping apart of our planet and funding of systems and humans who do not care about humanity and its inhabitants, obviously money is evil in this context, but it's actually not the money that's evil. It's the energy of the human being using the money for bad, for negative reasons. So at the end of the day, you have every capacity in you to transmute these shadow beliefs, these fears, these patterns, these stories into your power. Because like money, everything is neutral until you apply meaning to it. And so applying new meaning, new pattern recognition of the things that you struggled with throughout your life, your self-worth, your ability to succeed, your belief that things are possible for you, all of these can be rewritten, but they cannot be rewritten until you've brought them to the surface. So we need to get very clear on what it is holding you back. These are going to be very specific to your childhood, to your nurture, to your lived experience. And unfortunately, it's not an even playing field. Some people have a lot less trauma to be dealing with. A lot of it is easier for some people and a lot harder for others. But that is the game of life, and you get to play it, and you do not have to be a victim to it. No matter how challenging it's been, you have the capacity to overcome anything with new beliefs, new perspective, new actions, new habits. So get clear on who you are, and then get clear on who you were and what's kept you from becoming. Only from this place can we start to take tangible action towards changing. I think on the basis level of starting to make real change, somatics is coming into play. Somatics is the process of transmuting through the body, experiencing through the body, healing through the body. Our bodies carry so much. The trauma we've experienced actually stores within our fascia, within the physical vessel we inhabit, and it affects everything. When our cortisol is spiked, when our sympathetic nervous system is activated, our digestion stops working well, our immunity stops working well, our cognitive function stops working well, our blood pressure increases, our adrenaline increases, our cortisol increases. We're literally going into high alert fight or flight as if we're being chased by a bear in the woods. even if it's just a text from your ex or your boss or a friend that rubs you the wrong way or makes you feel unsafe. So by learning to regulate your nervous system and somatically process your experience, you will create space for magic. You cannot heal with a dysregulated nervous system. Your body literally fights against healing when you're in your sympathetic nervous system state, fight or flight. So somatic healing is going to allow you to reset your nervous system to go back into a rest and repair state, a regulated state. And it's going to allow that trauma to actually leave your body. Physically and energetically, we only have so much capacity in our body to hold. So if that capacity is being taken up by trauma, by story, by conditioning, by pain, there's physically and energetically not enough space for newness to come into your life. New patterns, new belief systems, new responses, new levels of regulation. So meet your body by practicing somatic tools, somatic exercises, breathing, shaking, dancing, screaming, holding yourself, self-touch, yoga, any sort of process that uses movement, sound, breath. It's quite literally moving the energy through your body, through the lens of your body, moving the trauma through the lens of your body. Somatic shaking, where you just plant your feet in the ground and shake out your body for a couple minutes, that is one of the most powerful tools out there for completing stress cycles, for telling your nervous system, it's okay, you're safe, you can relax now. Screaming, if you have a body of water nearby, if not a pillow, letting your anger out, these are all emotions that get trapped in your body physically and energetically. And by making space for them to leave your body, you are making space for so much magic to come into your life. So meeting yourself, meeting your past, meeting your body. These are the absolute baselines through which everything else emerges. Everything else can only come into fruition when you've met your body, you've met your mind, you've met your past, you've met your present. And from here, we can start to take more tangible action towards our dreams in a real way. What that might look like is getting clear on what you want to do with your life. What are you good at? What do you love doing? What are you passionate about? What do you naturally feel like a leader in? What do people already come to you for advice for? What could you talk about for hours? What certifications or education or experience do you have, if any? Not the most relevant thing in the world, but good to know. What do you love? What do you want to spend your life doing? And what are you good at? From this point, we can start to craft ideas, offers, ways in which you can build what you want to build. Aside from money, aside from any of it, what would you be so stoked to be doing for the rest of your life? Or at least for this season of your life. You don't need to know what you are going to be doing for the rest of your life, but you do need to know what you're interested in doing now. So getting really clear with a pen and paper, what does my dream day look like? What does my bank account look like after a really successful month? What does it feel like in my body to have the most freedom? How do I want to work? Do I want a boss? Do I want to work for myself? Do I want to be time and location free? Do I want to have 6 hours a day to play my guitar? Do I want to be working 10 hours a day? Do I want to have an online business? Do I want to be supporting people in person? Getting clear on what you love to do, what you're passionate about, what skills you have, and how you actually want to co-create this reality with source, with spirit. Because to live your dream life, you need to actually know what your dream life would look like. How you would spend your time, how you'd feel every day, how many hours a week you'd be devoting to something that makes you money. Because let's be real, we need to make money. We need it. It's a 3D world and we need to play the game. And the game gets to be played in a way that really serves you. Once you can understand what you're doing, how you want to do it, what you're good at, what you're passionate about, the next rule of thumb that I tell everyone ever is build a personal brand. I'm telling you, self-expression on the internet. Get your dang phone out, find a windowsill, talk to your camera. Maybe you just record yourself rolling around in nature, put some text over it. Are you a poet? Share your poetry. Are you a musician? Share your songs. Are you a holistic health coach? Build recipes. Show people what you eat in a day. It has never been easier to be free by sharing who you are. If you have any passions in life, any interests in life, you can share about them online and you can get paid to do it. I could not be more bullish on the internet right now. It is such an epic place to be, and it doesn't have to be evil, and it doesn't have to be soul-sucking if you choose to stop being a consumer and you become a creator instead. This is what I would do if I was starting over. I would pick the topics I love and I would post about them all the time. I would find systems to make my life easier. I would batch my content. I would get inspiration from people and I would do the dang thing and I wouldn't stop. And I wouldn't care about how it looked. I would care about how it felt. I wouldn't care about how many likes I was getting. I would care about who I'm serving, the community I'm building, the lives I'm potentially changing, the freedom I'm allowing myself to experience by being entirely who I am. Because social media, personal branding, and self-expression are your greatest tangible tools for freedom in this lifetime in 2025. Maybe you have resistance to being online. Take this with a grain of salt, do as you wish, but there is no better tool for freedom right now than the internet. Nothing comes close to the amount of freedom you will experience if you give yourself permission to share your magic online. It's literally a landing pad for you to self-express, for you to be cringe, for you to be bold, for you to be weird. Why wouldn't you take the opportunity? Because it's a pretty even playing field online. If you give it a go and you show up and you keep going and you learn from your mistakes and you don't stop, you will succeed. There's nothing stopping you. It's you against you, and that is a major gift. So I would take everything I learned about myself, I would apply it to a brand, and then I would build a community, connect with people, sell my magic to the world. We all have magic. If you don't know what yours is, take the time to get to know yourself. Backtrack to the beginning of this video, to this process, and allow yourself to meet yourself all over again so you can then birth your magic into the world. Why not get paid to be yourself? Why not live your dream life of freedom, of connection, of impact, of wealth, of opportunity, of collaboration, just by being who you are? And then I would invest in people who have been where I want to be. That's the next step. Ultimately, we cannot do this alone. We're creatures of community. We're meant to be in rooms. Even before you invest in other people, put yourself in rooms with people who inspire you. If you don't have an in-person community where you are right now, first of all, look for one. Second of all, maybe create it. Park meetups, coffee date meetups, walks. It probably exists where you are, but if it doesn't, why not try to put yourself out there and create it? And if that doesn't work, if you don't have it in person, find it online. There are so many resources, free communities, free spaces for you to connect with your people. You can join my free community on School. It's a hub for female creators who want to step into that era of leaving consumption, stepping into creation, becoming successful, doing what you love, building brands, building businesses, just being creative and doing what your heart wants to do on this time on planet Earth. If not mine, find the community. It's so important that you surround yourself with people who believe in you and continue to support the delusional obsession with your success and your growth and your ability to do exactly what you want in this time here on planet Earth. And that is a pretty Cliff Notes version of what I would be doing if I was starting over from scratch. I would also add as a bonus, take care of your body, take care of your vessel, eat well, move, nourish. A physical body needs to feel good for an energetic body to feel good, and an emotional body to feel good, and a mental body to feel good. So I would say prioritize self-care, prioritize self-love, prioritize boundary setting. All of these internal factors are going to shape your external reality so much. But you do need to meet yourself, heal yourself, connect with yourself, find your people, find your passion, find your purpose. And I know this might sound challenging, but if you go step by step, these things naturally unfold as your frequency raises, as your consciousness level and awareness raises. These things ultimately find you. You become a match to these things. It's not hard. It's effort. It's consistency. It's devotion, but it's not hard. I think it's beautiful and fun and nourishing. And if you don't see it that way, maybe start to reconnect with why it feels so challenging to meet yourself in this way. I just think there's never been an easier time to live the life you want to live. And why not try? What's the worst that could happen? You fail? Failure is just a stepping stone to success. The people who succeed allow themselves to fail one more time and one more time, and one more time. So give yourself a chance at this. Give yourself a little go. Maybe take out a journal if you didn't for this episode and just write down the cliff notes of the order in which I recommended you explore this. Of course, take it all with a grain of salt and let me know if it lands, if it resonates, if you want to join the community. I'll link it in the cliff notes below, the show notes. And thank you for tuning into another episode of Woman Expressed. I'll see you next week.